This is day 9, and as you can see, I really don't want to get out of the bag. Spent the night at Pass Mountain Hut and thinking about what to do today. It's 9 March, it's 10:07. I just left Pass Mountain Hut a little while ago. I was in there for the night. There was another guy there, a guy trail named by City from Boston, so it was good to chit-chat with him. He's a thru-hiker from 2014, and he's out here doing a bunch of winter hiking from Massachusetts down to pretty far down into Virginia before he gets off trail. But it was nice to be able to trade ideas and talk with him. So I didn't do much videoing last night. The last couple miles were kind of a grind in the snow, and at the end of the day, about the only thing I was thinking about was getting some food in me and getting in the bag, and that's what I did. It was interesting last night. Coyote came down, and it was like he was right next to the shelter, and he just started howling and woke me up. I figured, hey, there's 2 of us in here, but unfortunately I was on the bottom layer, so he would have got me first, and then he would have proceeded to take care of City up top. But no, a lot of howling, a lot of noise for a small animal. And I saw his tracks today, and he really wasn't all that close to the shelter, so he's got some lungs on him. I'm doing a pretty good climb out of Thornton Gap. I took the opportunity to use the civilized restroom down there in the Panorama parking lot. City, the guy from Boston, told me the restrooms would be open, and they were warm restrooms, and it was a nice place to take a short break. Wind's howling up here. I'm about 0.8 at about 3,700. I think I'm gonna get a little higher today, and that'll be it. That was a good climb coming out of Bear's Nest Hut 3. Anyway, the scout group shows up. Scoutmaster with Brian Nielsen, nice guy. He had one of the scouts' moms with him, Brian Nielsen and Christine Lehman. Sorry about that. But Troop 1946 out of DC. They had a handful of the scouts there, and they were pretty entertaining. When we were in the shelter, they got the fire going pretty well, and there's a fire actually inside that Bird's Nest 3 hut, so it was kind of nice because it was cold yesterday. But the trail is a bunch of slush today, so this is definitely a wet feet day. But I must say it was nice having not to put frozen shoes on this morning. I mean, my socks were still a little wet. I know there's a great view up here, but it's going to be nothing to see except white goo, like behind me. I've been seeing these footprints for a while, and I was thinking maybe Bigfoot's out here with me. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Here comes the sun, Mother Nature, melting all the ice and snow on the AT. It's alright. Yeah, I know I'm a horrible singer. Everybody's told me that for years. I'm a legend in my own mind, and I'm a great singer in the shower. But I'm out here and there's nobody else around me, and I haven't heard any animals howl telling me to knock it off, so I'm going to continue to sing. But a magnificent view over here that I wanted to show you. You can see I'm at the Pinnacle picnic grounds here. The trail goes right by it. Right, taking a little break, trying a little something different with the camera. And maybe I need to take off my leggings and maybe my top layer. But anyway, I'm going to take a 10-15 minute break here and see what I've got coming. I already see I got blowdowns ahead of me, but c'est la vie. This is probably going to be a good decision or a dumbass Duprat thing, but it's getting so warm out here that I just decided to go down to shorts and a t-shirt for this climb to a little more than 3,800. Couldn't resist this view. I don't know if this is Little Stony Man or what, but it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna even go up on those rocks because I don't want to challenge myself. Bald eagle. Anyway, right after my last short video where I talked about taking off my under layer, I bumped into a guy. He's racing down the path, so we stopped and chit-chatted for a few minutes, and I said, "Where you going?" He said, "Doing the trail." I said, "You through hiking?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Holy moly, when you leave?" And he left on 30 January. And I said, "What kind of mileage are you doing now?" He says, "I'm doing like 30s. And he said, "I got screwed up today because of the time change, so I didn't get started until 10. It's a trail named Scooby, young guy, trying to do the Triple Crown calendar year. So the AT, the CDT, and the PCT. He did the AT back in 2017, so he knows what he's doing out here. He's doing great. Doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he's on Instagram, Drew__ Boysen, Boysen. Scooby, young guy. Missed a picture with him, but check out his posts. I think I'm about at the top of my climb now, so this is good. I'm still surviving. Stony Man trailhead, little map with some suggested hikes. The good news is, at least over here, all the snow and ice is gone. We'll see what happens as we move up the trail. This is a long day. My plan of going 2 miles an hour is like 1.5 miles, or maybe even less. Highlight of today was bumping into a northbound thru hiker that left from Georgia, Scooby, and he's flying. The low point of the day, there were two. The first was I walked back, and then I said, "Well, it's got to be it because I don't see anything else." Continued on, and then I actually found a signpost, one of the national park ones, concrete post, and it indicated that the 18 North was going in the direction I was going. But I pulled out gut hook, and I was convinced I was going backwards at that point. So I went back in the parking lot, and I walked over to another corner of the parking lot, and there I see a double blaze for the AT showing a turn. This is on the far side of the parking lot now. Stony Man parking lot, I'm kind of hunting around, and I saw a sign. So I went over to the sign, looked at it, and you know, it had some maps, talked about the Stony Man climb and all that. And then I noticed right to the right of the sign there was a white blaze for the allegedly for the AT, and then there was another blaze of another color next to it. So I walked that, and I said, "This just doesn't feel right," because I wasn't seeing any of Scooby's footprints. And then I finally got on the trail, and not too long after I took a lunch break, one of my toes was bothering me, so I put some moleskin and some adhesive tape on that. And then I kept going, and my shoes were all wet, and another toe on my left foot's starting to bother me. So I put some, I think I'm hearing barred owls. "I cook for you." But anyway, I put some tape and moleskin on that. And then I eventually get to the hut here. And of course my phone dies at this point. So I knew that the water was downhill somewhere. And there's another cabin here that is rented out by the PATC. And they say the water source is like, you know, a tenth of a mile down from that. So I'm carrying my pack at this point, and I can't find the trail. So I'm kind of bushwhacking, and I'm figuring I'm going down. I fell on my butt once, but then I turned around, and I went back up to the cabin, and I dropped my pack. And I took up my water kit, I took the GPS, I took one trekking pole, and 2 empty bottles. And then I start going a different direction, still going downhill. And then I said, this ain't right, I'm not seeing any water. And then I start turn around, and no water kit in my pocket. So I'm thinking, uh-oh, my filter's lost, my bag is lost. All I've got is 2 bottles of water at this point, and I had no water when I get in here. Lo and behold, I went back up close to the cabin, and sure enough, I found that. So and then I went back, and I'm standing at the little concrete signpost, and I noticed that the trail looked like it went, diagonally across, not downhill. And I looked over, and maybe about 50 yards or so, I see another concrete post with the magic word spring on it. So I found the water. But that's it for today. Kind of a lengthy day. I guess I made a lengthy day.